everybody, and welcome back to the final installation of Spooky Games, Player Nay from Techigy Podcast. On this episode, cringe. On this episode, we're talking about Abadox, the Deadly Inner War for the Nintendo Entertainment System, published by Natsume in 1989, released in North America in 1990 by the Milton Bradley Company. It's a horizontal scrolling shooter in the vein of Gradius or R-Type, and it takes place in the intestinal tract of a giant alien organism. Abadox is a very difficult game, and I mean, like, one hit pretty much takes you out, and you have to restart from different checkpoints, but you have unlimited lives and restarts. So the year is 5012. The planet Abadox has been consumed by a giant alien organism known as Parasitus. Having consumed Abadox, the alien takes the form of the planet and seeks to devour other planets. The galactic military launches an attack but is destroyed by Parasitus, who goes on to devour the hospital ship carrying Princess Maria. Oh no. We gotta, save the princess, right? Like Nintendo style, you have to save the princess. You play as Second Lieutenant Nazal, the only surviving fighter of the Galactic Fleet. The only one. You are humanity's last hope. You attempt to enter Parasite's body to rescue Princess Maria before it is too late.
Yeah,
guys, what'd you think? MMMC, whoever wants to go first, what did you think?
It was R-Type. It was R-Type. It was obvious that R-Type was the inspiration for this game. What do you think, MC? You want to jump in there?
Okay, all right. I really liked it, although it was extremely hard. But I really liked it. I thought they had a good variation of different, like, beasts inside the animal. Like, there was them flying like birds, and there was octopuses and fangs that come out of the ceiling. And then, like, I don't know, what would you say? Like, every 10 minutes of play, if you made it that far, you became like a boss in there. Like the first one was like some guy, like, it looked like a head of a guy or something you had to kill. And then I made it to the next level, and I didn't make it too much further than that. But I just like the variety of monsters they had. Now it is NES graphics, but I thought they did a good job for NES graphics. I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was good. It is definitely R-Type. There's something else I wanted to say about it. I liked how it changed direction. Like, one time you're going horizontally, and then sometimes you go vertically, or so that was kind of neat too.
It goes from horizontal, and some stages are side scrolling.
Right. Yeah. So it was. I don't know. I really liked it. I liked the theme of it. I thought the monsters looked good. I thought the bosses looked pretty good. It's just, this isn't one you're going to play in a day and probably get through. You're going to, unless you're one of them Souls people that play all the Souls games and you're really good at stuff. But I'm not that good, and it would take me many days to probably get through this one, But I liked it. I give it thumbs up, but yeah.
Awesome.
There it is.
I'm looking at it. It's a $15 game. If you look at it on eBay,
and you know what? I give this one like an 8, whereas the other one was a $50 game, and I give it, I gave it a 5.
I would pay $15 for it.
Yeah,
sure.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I looked it up. I think I was first more shocked that Milton Bradley, because they were the ones that bought the Vectrex from the company that originally, what was it? I forget the original name. General Electronics was who did Vectrex, and they bought the Vectrex to get into the video game market, and then pretty much lost their butts on it. So it was kind of funny to see that in the Nintendo age, they were publishing games, for the NES. That being said, it's not a bad game. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
It was very much your typical R-type side scroller. They did try to throw some other stuff in there. It reminded me a little bit of Gyrus, which I've been playing the ColecoVision port of that, and I find that's kind of a hard game as well. This game was definitely hard. It was not. It was
Hard.
definitely not hard. Yeah. Anybody that's watched us talk about Bob the Builder understands where that comes from. But it was a difficult game. The scrolling on it, I thought, was absolutely beautiful. I thought they did a
Yeah.
really good job with that. It was obvious. It wasn't just thrown together. I did find my weapons were lackluster. In R type, when you got weapons, they normally matched kind of what you had on the screen. So if and I'm one that's actually beat the arcade R type. I actually have it in my garage. So yeah, well, when you own the cabinet, you're gonna beat the game. It just kind of works that way. But R type, I found that they gave you the weapons to beat the levels. This game right here, I found that the weapons were kind of all over the place. When I thought it was Lieutenant Nasal, but when he got more powerful, he was sometimes hard to control. He would kind of it was like trying to move a battleship. Um, but the weapons to me were probably the game's biggest downfall, which is one of the reasons the game was the difficulty level I thought was at 11 on some of it. So, JC, what was your thoughts on this Milton Bradley post Vectrex game?
I'll say one of the most interesting parts of the game is that it tells a story because you start off going into the mouth of Parasitus, and
You do.
there's it's weird because it's got the gnashing teeth. There's the tongue. You
Yes.
see the tongue,
Yes.
and then you start going down its esophageal tract, and you're now going down instead of side scrolling. And there's a couple different things going on here. You have like the biological enemies, like the that are made from like the flesh and that of Parasitus, but then there's also like these robots. There's actually a boss that's a robot in the game. So like it's this juxtaposition between Parasitus being a biological creature but also being controlled by some kind of like robotic entity or whatever's going on there. And you go the whole way through this thing's body. The whole game you're in the body of this beast, except for there's a couple parts where you're like on top and you're like exposed outer space, and then there's pterodactyls
Yes.
at one
And
point.
yeah. So then there's arms that come out of the walls and try to grab you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Stuff like that.
the pterodactyl thing threw me off a little bit because, like, pterodactyls, first of all, extinct. Second of all, in
Well,
space. But by the year 5012, maybe there are pterodactyls
what
in
about the
space. I don't know.
octopuses? The octopuses inside them. I mean, what were
Yeah, it
that?
was all inside
Yeah.
of him. Maybe he ate the octopus.
I
Well,
will
maybe.
say that there is an obsession in this game with teeth and eyeballs.
Yes.
Everything has eyeballs. There's a part
Yes.
when you come down through what I suppose is the esophagus, and you end up at like the stomach area, and the boss is like the stomach organ, and it comes down and flips out, and at the bottom it has an eyeball on it, and it's shooting like acid crystals at you and stuff like
Who's the
that.
guy that did the artwork for Aliens and Scorn? It was that kind of graphics. I thought. I mean, it had like that human, gross-looking graphics. You know what I'm talking about? Ager or Iger or something. Yeah,
Geiger.
Geiger. Yeah, it's a Geiger.
Geiger.
It's like Geiger art.
Yeah.
NES Geiger art.
Like Alien.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely H.R. Geiger esque.
that's it.
And again, it is very difficult, but they at least give you unlimited lives. There's no game overs, at least that I noticed. You can keep replaying to the point where you can learn some of the levels.
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah, it's like free play on an arcade machine.
Yep.
Pretty much.
And it didn't take you back too far either. When you got killed, you didn't go back too far. So,
No, it
wasn't
didn't
like
start
a
you.
Souls game. Go back to the beginning.
Yeah, it didn't start you off at like the beginning of the level. It starts you off like, I don't know, like halfway to where you were
Right.
at
Which
that
is
point.
what R-Type did. I mean, that's
It did.
very
Yeah.
R-Type.
But R-Type had a game over screen though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you have free play turned on, it definitely you had so many lives, like 5 lives. depending
But
upon
I,
how the settings
I
were. I
just
think it
think
was
the
pre-light.
game is just so interesting just because like you're inside Parasitus, this beast that has devoured your planet.
I mean,
He
the
is
best part
your
of it
planet.
is the artwork, like
Yeah, the
the
artwork
It's
monsters and
great.
the
was unbelievable.
It's
yeah.
great.
For NES, I thought it was really good.
Hmm.
And
So
now, like, I mean, like, is it really a horror game? I mean, maybe not, but it's a very gory, visceral experience, even for the Nintendo. Like, there's a lot of parts where like you can see like the internal organs and and the musculature and like the veins and stuff, and they're very defined. It's not just like some secondary design. Like that's the main point of the game is this visceral artwork style.
why especially you're going down like maybe his throat, then arms come out from the side trying to grab you. I thought that was kind of cool.
That's like
So
getting your endoscopy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So like I said in past recordings is I normally try to beat the game and I have did not, but I got close. I was very close and I know that cuz I looked up like what the end game was. Um but I think I mean for $15 I actually just bought it while we were talking.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth 15, maybe even $20 if you really wanted it, but that'd be stretching it. But.
I think it's a good game if you like shmups, if you like shoot 'em ups
Yep.
and you want like this visceral experience and you know what, to be honest, it's a game that I had not even heard of until like I started researching.
Yeah, the first time I heard it was when you told me about it.
Yeah,
I had never
uh,
heard of it.
never. And but it's funny though that it just harkens back to like the classic Nintendo is that you have to save the princess. Like you got to save Princess Maria, you got to save Princess Toadstool, Princess Peach, in Mario. Um, I I mean for me, it's a thumbs up.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely a thumbs up.
Man,
Thumbs up.
we're hitting it out of the park with all these thumbs up recently.
Hey, in like the first level, what is that thing it comes out? It's like a horse or is it a dog or something? Did you? It's like looks like a
Oh,
skeleton dog or a skeleton
yeah,
horse.
it's like something it's the corpse of something that this creature has consumed,
Oh, is that what it was?
obviously.
It looked freaky though, man. It looked wild. You know.
Yeah. Now there's some interesting enemy design in there that you don't really sometimes even see in modern games anymore. Like everything is, what's modern? You have humans, you have zombies, and you have like aliens. But
Yeah.
you don't see a whole lot of games like this where you have like this real visceral aside from the game you mentioned with the Geiger
Yeah.
artwork,
Scorn. Yeah.
Scorn.
Yeah.
Man,
No,
that's
if I
one of the
never see a zombie again, I'll be a happy man. I'm tired of zombie games. That's all you ever see anymore.
yeah.
Everything's fighting zombies. I'm tired of that.
So imagine like a modern remake of this game, um, what they could do
Yeah.
with the artwork style and that now.
Yeah. If you make that detailed graphics, whoo, then it would be scary.
And speaking of, I thought the music was great.
Yeah.
I thought the music for this game was phenomenal.
No, they did a good job all the way around. I thought.
It wasn't repetitive. Every stage had a different song, and I
Every,
think it fit every stage.
different songs, different monsters, different backgrounds. You know what I mean? I thought they did a very good job.
I
Yep.
agree.
So we're all thumbs up on Abadox here.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're all thumbs up on all three of these spooky
Halloween one.
Yeah.
games that we've
Yeah,
got.
we have been
Yeah.
all thumbs up on those. So I mean, this kind of comes to the end for this year for the spooky Tekkiji games. I do plan on doing an interview a let's play of a specific one that's a homebrew, and I'm gonna talk about that uh, when I release it because I'm kind of keeping it secret because I just found out about it this morning.
Awesome.
So I can't talk about it too much because I don't know about it all that much. Haven't had a chance to play it yet.
Need to
But
know.
that'll be up next. And just speaking ahead to future podcasts, anybody listening is that we have, we're going to have our Black Friday / Cyber Monday live stream. We have our Christmas fundraiser live stream, which I'm hoping to do with Paws and Prayers again this year for the animal shelter. And then also we will be having our Game of the Year awards stream that we always have done. This will be our third year doing it. So things to look forward here at the Techigy Podcast. I think we have some changes coming up at the Techigy Podcast that we hope people will appreciate as well moving forward into the new year. So, guys, at Techigy Podcast, what do we always say?
Stay nerdy, my
spooky,
friends.
my friends. MC, we talked about this.
I
What
know I
MC?
changed it up.
Well,